Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, everyone. If there's anyone yet. So welcome. This is our talk for the Aurora Rising book. I did a video where I said this book, and I said Amie Kaufman instead of Amie, and then I forgot Kristoff's name, and I was like, what? So,
Happens.
yep. But yeah. So anyway, do you guys wanna? Should we start with ratings, what we thought, general thoughts, and then I have some questions we can discuss. And if you guys wanna write in the comments, any questions or any stuff you want to talk about, that'd be great.
Who wants to start first?
Well, I'll start. I haven't quite finished it, but right now it's looking like a 4-star read for me. I do think I have most of the action left to go, so it might bump it up, but I'm not sure. So far, it's really similar, I feel, to Guardians of the Galaxy. So, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like I'm seeing lots of similarities, so I'm curious to see how the end, is going to go. But like I said, so far it's looking like 4 stars.
Kira?
So this is actually a reread for me. I originally read this about maybe 2 or 3 years ago when it came out. And I rated it a 4.5 star like them, but after rereading it, I'm thinking more settled on a 4-star rating. It just, to me, it just feels like more fitting. I guess some of the novelty, of course, has worn off.
Sasha?
So it is a reread for me as well, and I finished it 15 minutes ago. But I give it back then 4 stars, and this time it's also 4 stars. I really love the crew system, as you said, Femke, a bit what's the name? The Galaxy, the
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, I love that kind of vibes. To have a crew working together, etc. I love that trope. So I still very much enjoyed it. I was quite scared actually to reread it because I knew I loved it in 2018, 2019 when I read it. But as I've been reading more adult, I was scared to actually be shocked by the YA. I mean, which whatever. But I really enjoyed it. So
yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so much fun. But for me, it's a 3.5. Not in a because I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't a new favorite, or like you said, I've been reading more adult as well. But for the time I was reading it, I had a lot of fun, and I thought it was pretty well written. It was one thing that bothered me is same as Guardians of the Galaxy or any other Marvel movie. It's there cannot be a moment of seriousness, and we have to undercut it with a very childish joke. So that was my only complaint, really. But overall, yeah, it was really enjoyable. I had a good time reading it.
Yeah, that's also, I feel like it's very accessible sci-fi. It's made in a way that's it's actually sci-fi and not sci-fi light or anything, but it's accessible so that people still understand what's happening without difficult technical terms or physics and maths and all that making stuff more difficult. But it's very easy to read in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's the kind of sci-fi that I usually describe. It's a sci-fi because it's happening in the space.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not sci-fi because of the technical sci-fi-ish things or whatever. It's happening in space, so sci-fi. As you said, very easy to go through.
Yeah, but it didn't feel juvenile to me in that sense. It's easy to read, but there's a distinction between childish or quick and easy to read. And I feel for me at least, it wasn't childish. It didn't feel that way. The jokes were pretty awful at times, but
yeah. To be fair, I agree. I don't think I think he actually touched upon some very interesting topics, and the world was very expansive because you have all these different alien species and the conspiracy of it was all very interesting. I agree, it wasn't childish, but yeah, the jokes. I feel that's why the jokes like they weren't funny to me, so I was like, oh, this is just cringy then. It's just like kind of undercut. It was just like, okay, I understand that you're the quipping character, but everyone was like that, so I was just like, okay, calm down, you're in a life or death situation. I understand one person would cope with humor, but all of you? So that's why, yeah, my only thing. I think the jokes, what are you gonna do? But yeah, exactly, it's same as Marvel to me. Like Marvel have all these really cool scenes and then just like make a fart joke and you're like, okay, I see. It's like we could have one serious moment.
Well, yeah. I wonder if it's still the case. Like, it's a reread for me, but I haven't continued with the series, so I wonder if that's still going to be the case, like in the second and third book, or if they're gonna like grow out from it. If that makes sense.
They are very young, to be fair. What
I feel like Finian will never grow out of it, to be honest.
No. And I feel like Tyler's like already growing in like to a completely like different role by the time we get to the end, because he goes like from being like this straight laced like boy, like, you know, everybody like, you know, he does everything like that everybody wants him to. He's like the ideal student, like to being this kind of rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to be fair, he's still doing like the right thing, what he thinks is the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that sense, his character hasn't really changed, but he used to do everything by the rules, but now that the rules kind of don't apply anymore, he's just going off his own moral compass, I feel.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. So I've got a question for you guys. Who's your favorite character?
I knew this was coming.
I feel like this is the kind of book where you can talk about this because all the characters are quite equally developed, I think. More
Space Elf.
Yeah, but that's why I'm having a time actually picking one. You know what I mean? Because I love like the dynamic between all of them, and I feel like they're really all different. You know what I mean? Like they all have they found their spot in that crew, and I don't know.
I can tell you who I like least. Person, that's Kat. I don't like Kat.
Okay, I was like, I don't like her. I feel like I'm the other one.
No. Yeah, she's my least favorite too.
I'm very curious about what's gonna happen with her coming.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but like, I mean, I do get where she's coming from, I suppose, but I don't know. It just, how do I explain this? Like sometimes you still like a character despite them being like grouchy and everything, but I don't know. For her, she just raised my like the hair on the nape of my neck. Like, no.
Yeah. For me, what made me it's not fair to her maybe, but it's just because she had this hatred of Aurora, but Aurora was like in her head, she was like, oh, I really want to be friends, and I was like, what do you mean to this poor girl? She literally just woke up. She's not after your man, okay? She's like over here, just lost her whole family, 100 years old, and you're being so petty, and that kind of annoyed me. But I think like she kind of redeemed it towards the end because they kind of like had a reconciling or whatever. And I don't know, I feel like this book will probably they'll find a cure and then she'll go back, but that's, for me, it's like really cheesy and unrealistic, so I'd rather she actually like was lost for good. But I don't know, because it's YA, I'm not sure if they'll do that.
Yeah, but it's also Jay Kristoff, and I do not trust Jay Kristoff with my characters.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he's famous.
YA.
Yeah.
I've heard so many people saying, because like I think Aurora Burning came out 1 year after Rising, and then like Aurora's End came out 2 years after, and everyone was mad because apparently Burning ends on like a cliffhanger. And like, I mean, I don't trust Jay Kristoff with characters anymore. Like he's 180'd a bit too much. So
yeah,
that, and like after like his Nevernight series too, like him killing like off like all the favorite characters and stuff.
I actually thought the Nevernight, well, this is off topic, but to me Nevernight had too much of a happy ending. Like the whole trilogy was so grim, and in the end it was like ride off into sunset together, and I was like, okay, that doesn't seem really like where we were going, but okay. So that's that.
Yeah, but like for me, I don't think that it's gonna be like his other stories because he wrote it with Amie Kaufman. And when you see what happened in the Illuminate like series or whatever, it's not like Nevernight. It's not like
no, but still, I'll trust it when I see it. You know, like
wait, but so do you want cats to be okay, or do you not want cats to be okay?
I don't think
care.
he's gonna be. I think something's gonna happen around her with being stuck where she is, but I don't think she's coming back from it. I think.
Well, I don't want her to.
But I think she will not. Like, I think they will find a way to make something happening that she's like okay in some way, but not alive. If that makes sense. Like, I feel like I don't know.
Like forever changed, but kind of back, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's okay, whatever, because she was left there, but like the sentences we read, obviously all spoilers here, but she was thinking, you know what I mean? So I feel like she's not completely gone, but they will have to find a way to make her gone.
Okay, so like relieve her from the suffering of being.
Yeah, I feel that's more it.
I feel like that fits J. Kristoff's like modus operandi, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I would like that. I think I like that. If they find a cure and that the dad is okay and she's okay, I'll be like, oh no, please. Like, it's just, I don't know, you invest your emotions, so you kind of want to be hurting a little bit, because otherwise, what was it all for? We're not watching a Disney Channel.
As much as I like hate sobbing over a book, I'd much rather that an author kill off people that makes me sob than if everyone is magically okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's realistic. That's it.
Yes. It's like a Disney Channel ending.
Yeah, it's like if people die, like at least if I'm sobbing over a book, at least I'm feeling something. And if everyone is like, happy and all, lovey-dovey and everything, it's like, eh. I need pain. Okay, I need pain.
I think there will be pain coming. Yeah. Well, I'm asking because my favorite character, I think, is Finn. It's Finn.
Really?
Right?
I love Finn.
I like a nerd that's also quipping. Like, that is my kryptonite. It's just so dorky, and him and Scarlet. Oh my god, so cute! I just want it to happen so bad. So yeah, I love him, and I really like him, and I'm really looking forward, because it's like he's not just like the funny one. Like, also he's got his own stuff, and I like that he's disabled. I think it's really interesting. He's my favorite, I think. And I like Tyler. I don't know why, but I really like Tyler for some reason.
I was like how
he feels
good
like this.
Tyler is.
Yeah, he's just like, he feels like this straight guy character in a sitcom, but I like him. So.
Like, if we're talking like dogs, I feel like Tyler is the Labrador.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that.
I mean, there's no other way to explain it. I feel like you all get what I mean, but he's just like, he's such a good boy.
Yeah.
Golden boy. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, or a golden retriever, but like that dog. I feel Finn might be the husky, always talking back.
But cuddly. Yeah. And then I feel like, oh, that's such a good question. I keep thinking about all of them. Because also Finn to me is a little like a chihuahua, just like so small but really loud. Like,
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so wait. Who said their favorite's Legolas? Was it you, Kira?
Yes. It was me.
I'm curious where that's going.
Huh?
I just said I'm curious where that is going, but yeah, go ahead.
I don't know, like, see, I kind of like it, like that whole what do you call it, the Sarah J. Maas, like Rysand and Feyre vibes, like there, because like he's like, oh, I just so love her, like, and I just like this bond like with my species and stuff, and it's like, I'm actually really okay with this, so I was I like that aspect, but I also like the fact that he's like super like combative, you know, and that this is like the softer side of him. I like that.
Hannah just asked like Legolas, and that's like, I don't know, Cal, I think he's called.
Yeah, Cal.
Yeah.
Cal.
Hannah's
Cal-
not read the book.
Hot space elf.
It's a
Yeah,
hot
so
space elf.
Character on the cover of the second book.
yeah. So Aurora actually nicknames him Legolas, which I think is just so cute because like that kind of dates her as far as like being like, you know, 200 years old and like Lord of the Rings was a thing.
And like
So
he
he
doesn't
has any
know
clue what
the hell
she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
who's
he's
this
probably
Legolas?
very confused.
No, I love that reference.
Okay, what do you think Cal is then?
Oh,
I feel like he might be like a Chow Chow.
or a pit bull.
Very nice to look at, but very aggressive. Very much don't touch me.
Yeah.
I think people is good because
Doberman.
Yeah, Doberman. But like pit bulls are so cuddly though. They are very much I'll sit in your lap and please pet me.
But they have a bad rap.
Yeah, but they're very much not like that.
I think he's like that for Aurora. So he's like he's the pit bull because he looks scary, but exactly, but he cuddly.
She's his master.
Oh man, the only thing for Scarlet that comes to my mind is there's this cartoon dog and it's like a ginger dog, and I don't know what cartoon it's even far from, but maybe I can find it. But just this very like sexy dog from that Dogs Go to Heaven movie or whatever it's called. I might be wrong. She reminds me more of a fox than a dog.
Yeah,
I do hate foxes because there's lots of in England. They're very loud. But what about Aurora then?
That's a good one.
Just a run-of-the-mill normal dog. To be fair, I did like her as a main character. I think she kind of like made sense in the context of being woken up after 200 years and be like, what the fuck, man?
I just found like the two best pictures to describe Cal. Like this is Cal for anyone not Aurora. And then this is Cal for Aurora.
That's cute.
I love that.
So do you think there's going to be a love triangle between Cal and Taylor and Aurora? Because I want them as a throuple. That's just what I want. I don't know. I feel like
I don't think
possible.
so.
I don't think it's possible. Well, I don't think it's going to happen because it's a YA novel, but
like, as much as it pains me to say, I really don't feel the romance in Aurora Rising so far. So I literally don't care who ends up with whom either way.
Yeah.
Like I never thought I'd ever say that, but
I don't know. Like Cal already made out with Tyler. So I feel like that's sorted. And they seem to be flirting an awful lot. I don't know. I feel like it could happen.
I love how he just shut down when Tyler kissed him.
He's like, what the fuck, man?
His brain just went like, you know, what's the AI in Illuminae, like error?
Yeah.
No, I don't expect that love triangle, but I might be wrong.
I feel like there might be a love triangle. I doubt there's going to be a throuple because we can't have nice things, but it would be fun.
Also, I'm always so confused with, what's her name? Zila?
Zila?
Chapters, because those are like 3 lines long, and I'm like...
yeah.
Maybe there's going to be like a grand revelation that I haven't had yet, but I'm always like, why can't we have more from her perspective?
She'll have a longer chapter later, I think. There's like one at least that's kind of longish. Or normal size, I guess. But yeah, I was like, she's not bringing anything to this. Why do we need
What's she doing here?
I think maybe it's kind of like she's opening it up a little bit. So maybe that's why they're getting longer as they go.
Yeah. Kira, have you read the rest of the series or no?
No, I'm famous for this. Like, this is like why I try like to wait till all the books are out, because what'll happen is I'll read the first one and then I'll get distracted and then I'll forget what was in, and then because I've read so many books in between, I'll forget like what was in the first one. And I'm not big on rereading. Like, I'll do it like maybe like if it's been like about 2 or 3 years, but you know, and I've forgotten a lot of it. But other than that, like, I'm not really big on rereading. So then like I'll be like, well, I can't really read the second or third book like until I hash out the first one again, you know. So yeah.
I feel you. I'm always like confused, at least for the first 15% of the sequel, because I've forgotten everything. Like this read along thing we're doing is like pretty much the only time I actually read series in any kind of reasonable time frame.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps finishing them, so that's good.
Exactly. But I am excited for book 2. I think it'd be very fun.
I'm excited, especially because like I've been waiting for a long time for this. Like just like Ember, like what was it? Ember in the Ashes? Like I remember like doing like a buddy read with somebody, I think, for like the first like one, like when you guys were doing like that wasn't
Ember in the Echelon.
Right, was that on your channel? Oh, okay.
You did the Ember in the Echelon, right, with Esme and Jane.
Yes. So I actually went back through and reread Ember in the Ashes during like that time, and then I did like the one book a month, and that got me to finish that series. Favorite series of all time, by the way. But
yeah, I started it with your read along too, but then I didn't continue with you. But I am only have one book left, so it is alright.
I mean, I did that too, and then halfway through the second book, I just zoned out, and I was like, nah. So I still haven't finished the series.
Yeah, I've listened to the audiobook, and it's kind of easy to get distracted, but the audiobooks are well done because there's 2 actors.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm not liking the books, because I think I gave them all 5 stars, I think, like when I read them.
Yeah.
But
no, they're so good.
Yeah.
They're long.
I don't know.
It's thick, isn't it? So you're like, oh, I need a special time to read this.
I think it was mostly just because I was in a reading slump. So I just didn't care, and I was like, eh. Which was like me with every book last year, just like, eh. Also, I remember.
Are you feeling better about? No, go ahead.
I remember that time when I was just like, we got Roar by Cora Carmack in a Fairy Loot box in like June 2017, and then in June 2018 I was like, let's reread this, because I was so excited for the sequel, and then it turned out it was postponed for a year, so that was sad. And then the second one finally came out, and at this point the third one still hasn't come out, so
that's so long.
Yeah, and there's like no information whatsoever, and I feel like I hate that most. Like, there's no updates. It's like, if it's not gonna happen, just please tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's like yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just like this whole scenario just kind of reminded me of Name of the Wind. And how we still haven't gotten the third book.
Game of Thrones. I mean, you know, throwing it out there.
That too.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think I gave up.
Don't say that.
I mean, I'm just being realistic.
Yeah, I know.
At this point, he'll reach his expiry date before even, publishing the book. So.
Yeah, even if he publishes the next one, it's not the last one, is it? No.
No, the first 5 are out, and it's going to be 7. So he still has 2 books to finish.
Okay, if he gets his ass going, then maybe he can do it. But it's like,
it would be so mean that if he dies, it just turns out he's finished them like years ago, and then suddenly they'll get published then. That would be such a Game of Thrones thing to do, I feel like.
Yeah, but what about Name of the Wind? Because the only reason I haven't started it is because I'm waiting for that last one. But do we have any news regarding that? Because it was supposed to happen this year, on Goodreads. It was written 2022.
And last year. And 2020. It's just...
I feel like they're just going like on they're like right now putting random dates like to try to like, you know, be like, hey, maybe this year will be the year, you know?
Yeah.
Because Goodreads, I think those are not as good as official as like other sources. Because sometimes they choose like placeholder dates, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong.
I'm also still waiting for Laini Taylor's new book.
Oh man, I want it.
I mean, it hasn't been announced, but she said like it's her first adult fantasy book, and it was supposed to be like the spiciest she's written so far. I mean, if you're not into spice, that's not really exciting, but
What isn't
Good Dreamer YA?
Yeah,
No, that's
yeah.
YA.
It's all YA. Everything she's written is YA.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
I thought
Strange the Dreamer was adult.
Nope. It's YA.
Oh,
I knew it was Strange Dreamer, but Daughter of Smoking Dawn, I thought it was adult at one point.
No, it's like pretty. I feel like at least the second book is pretty heavy for young adult, but it's all young adult.
Yeah, that series is quite heavy in topics.
And I mean, strange as well. I mean, there in the second book there are some like spicy scenes, but
really,
yeah, it's not really enough to push it. If you're looking at Sarah J. Maas and what has been published as YA in Sarah J. Maas, it's like this is firmly YA.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like Helen was complaining about what was it? Like the last book in Pierce Brown series. What's it called?
Yeah, I don't know what the last one's called, but I know it's like the sixth book in like the Red Rising.
Yeah. Red Rising.
Red Rising.
Yeah.
Golden Sun.
Yeah, she says it's like 3 years they've been waiting because I want to start that series, but I don't want to wait ages.
So I feel like you can read the first 3 and not continue on with it because like it was originally meant to be a trilogy, you know. So I mean, I feel like you could just like read the first 3 and then like wait for like the next ones to come out.
Might do that then because I have heard really good things. Have you guys read it?
Yes.
Was it good?
I DNF'd Red Rising, but there's a but here. I feel like I might actually like it now.
Oh.
So I will try it again. But like, yeah, that was one of my only DNFs, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe you, Kira, you liked it.
I really loved the first one. Like I was at the edge of my seat. I read it in a day. Like my heart was like, I had never had my heart pumping so hard out of my chest before because it was like thrill, like after thrill. And it was like nonstop political action, like in strategy. And I was like all for it. I felt like an adult, like what they said, like was like an adult version, like of the Hunger Games kind of, which I really liked. But then we got to the second and third one, and I liked those, but I feel like the bar was already set way too high after the first one.
According to Goodreads, the 6th one is going to be released December 7th this year.
Oh, okay, not too bad then.
Which is over 4 years after the last one.
Yeah, don't tell me.
for us doesn't matter too much now. Okay, well maybe I don't know how we'll decide the next one. Maybe we'll vote again, but could be a good.
I thought we'd already kind of made plans.
Oh yes, we did. Never mind. See, I have terrible memory. Just like I don't know.
I have good memory when it suits me, and when it's like. Yeah, I think I got about things. I think I got about 40% in the first one, and I was so bored. I feel like I might just not have read until the good part, and I just decided to, like, whatever.
What is it? I was watching Becca and Books and Becca's books.
Becca and the books.
I was watching her channel. She was really gushing about this. But I think she said the first book okay, and then she like really loved the book Golden Sun as well. Yeah. So that kind of got me like, ooh, maybe I do want to read it. It feels really like it's funny because like where I first heard of the author was like back when Tasha Paulis, she used to make videos and she's like so in love with him and it's just like about how hot he was. And then she actually met him in real life. That was like at least like 6-7 years ago. book talk, like beginnings of book talk.
Yeah.
So I was always like,
Yeah,
the hot
the
guy.
last I've seen of him was a couple weeks ago when he decided to go for like NFTs.
Oh yeah, like,
and then there was outrage and everything, and
the book community.
That's why everyone was so mad and talking about NFTs on Twitter and whatever. And I was like, why is everyone into NFTs now? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I still don't understand how it works, and I'm not sure I want to. But it's like he wanted to do something with NFTs, and he announced that, and then there was so much backlash that he backed out. Actually,
I don't know why authors try. Every time someone even mentions NFTs or cryptocurrency in the book context, they're like immediately no, and then they have to cancel it. So I'm like, just don't do it.
Last year, a couple of authors tried it as well. Was like Tahira Mafi, Ransom Riggs, and I believe 2 more authors. Like, I don't remember their names, but they tried, and there was so much backlash.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, you should have learned from that situation, not try. It's clearly not gonna work. There's something about book people that they just hate NFTs.
Yeah,
it's bad for the environment. So.
I mean, YouTube is bad as well. You have online content, you know? Like anything that's online, saved online, is bad for the environment. All your emails being stuck, even the deleted ones that you don't delete from your deleted files, everything is bad. So
true. I learned about emails the other day, how much memory they take up, and since then I'm like, delete.
It's just like anything that is available from anywhere is bad, because it takes energy to actually make something available from your account, whatever the device. So just that's why, like, they always recommend like hard drive, like external hard drive, to save your things or whatever, because it's better. So yeah, but also the bookish community is really always 100% in the hate or in the love. Like whatever the side, always like 100% in it and more. So yeah,
it's just because cryptocurrency is like, it's not really bad. That's all I know. I'm not a very tech person. So.
No, like I said, I still don't understand what it is, but I know like NFT bad. You know that.
Yeah, it's because of all the mining, etc., like for cryptocurrency, but also like whenever you put something available as an NFT, it takes energy to actually put it on the blockchain or whatever. So there is a lot of things happening. So it's really, really bad. But unfortunately, at one point, it's going to be the future. So like we cannot control everything, but it is really bad because it asks like a lot of servers. Like you have, I don't know how many thousand servers working 24/7 to maintain everything there and to create like new crypto money or whatever and NFT to put them on the blockchain, to create all those safe places, whatever. I mean, we can talk about it for hours. Like, I feel like
we're all like, we have no clue what we're talking about, but that's very interesting.
No, I just like love to understand things before deciding or before like
everyone should do that.
Yeah, so that's why like I watched like so many documentaries on it or whatever, just to understand what it was and why people hated it or loved it. So now I understand like kind of both sides. It doesn't mean that I'm on one side or the other. It's just like it is what it is, like bad and whatever. But yeah. But like Aurora Rising wise, what are you expecting from the sequel?
Hi Larissa. Expectations from the sequel. I'm feeling a love triangle come. I don't know. I just think
are you feeling it coming, or are you manifesting it?
No. I don't want it. Keep it, but I feel like it's gonna come. It's just a YA series, isn't it? So it has to be a love triangle. Although I've not really had those vibes, but I just feel like there has to be one because of YA. But maybe I'm wrong. So, but I do prefer Tyler. That's my thing. So I'm like, but then Cal did grow on me, to be fair. So maybe it'll be cute. I feel like Aurora has bigger things on her mind. Poor thing.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be more killer plans.
Killer plans. I like that. I'll ask, what did you guys think of the ending of this book? I liked it. I did think it was slightly predictable, wasn't like I thought that her father was the evil commander, and I didn't see Kat getting killed, not killed, but overtaken by the parasite. So
yeah. I mean, it was a reread, so it wasn't like that surprising to me. But I still liked it. Like, it felt YA, whatever. It is a YA, so for me it was like absolutely fitting. But I'm more curious about that GIA things. I want to know more, and I want to understand the extent of it, because whenever it's like sci-fi-ish, I'm always like amazed by how people think that they can control and they exactly know what's happening in space when it's just like infinite. And I'm just like, there's so much more that we're gonna discover. And that's what I'm looking forward to, like just a discovery and people being like, oh, with them actually there is so much more we don't know about. I'm like, this is space, like you don't know everything.
I actually really want to find out about last time this happened, and that I don't remember their name, but there's that with an E, that old race of aliens that kind of extinct, but Aurora's kind of one of them now. I really want to know. I love stories where it's like this story, but this happened in the past and now we're discovering it. It's just like, I love that. So yeah, I think that I'm looking forward to that.
I'm really curious about like that. Like she's like her dad's other woman, like her dad's like new fiance or something like that, Patrice, that was going to be her new boss. And like and she sees her and she's like, oh my God, like she's got to be at least 200 and something years old, I'm really curious about that.
But she's dead, no?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, just how they survived to be 200 years old.
Yeah, like, I mean, they were obviously like, we're not in the fold, like with her. So what kind of like, I mean, do these plants like that were on that planet, extend life? Or
probably like, because who was it? Was it like Kat? No, it wasn't Kat. Who said that they found like the bodies were dead, but they were actually functioning? So maybe that's what's happening to all of them. So they can grow older and older, but actually they're dying. Oh, it's like some kind of like, there was a movie like that where you got some kind of infection and the plant or the whatever was like keeping you alive, but you were actually dying.
The new Suicide Squad, I think.
Possible. I don't know.
If that's seen it.
But
okay.
I'm like,
yeah, because the cat's clearly not dead, but she's infected.
Yeah,
so she can think. And it sounded like her dad kind of had some memories, because he could like manipulate her with like, and she said she felt like, because she was inside the mind and she felt like it was her dad, so some of it must have been there, like obviously. No,
but I don't know, like I feel like if there is a host in your body, they can still access your brain and your memories, even though you're not there anymore.
True.
I mean, I'm intrigued, so that's good.
It is. Hannah also asked, what plot or character arcs are you looking forward to in the next installment? For character arcs, definitely looking forward to Aurora kind of figuring out her stuff and her powers and how they actually work, and how she's a kind of new alien now. I didn't really understand if she was the alien race, like how does that work, but I'm curious to find out. And I feel like I just looking forward to them developing as a group as well, because obviously everyone will have to overcome their inner demons.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to learn more about my baby, whose name I forgot, so clearly I don't care about him that much. What's his name? The cheeky one?
Finian?
Yes, Finian. Yes, that one. I was like, fuck's sake. What about you guys?
I feel like Aurora, because of all the reasons you just mentioned, but also because she didn't have time to actually accept the fact that her family is supposed to be dead 200 years ago, and that she's like alone, you know, because she was straight up in the action. And I feel like I don't think she's gonna have a time to, you know, take a break and just breathe from the vibe of this book, but just to see like how she's gonna get over it, if go through it, or she's just gonna put it aside or whatever. Like I want to see how she's gonna deal with that as well. Or at one point they say, yeah, we're gonna look and see if you have some relatives, of course not from 200 years ago, but like descendants or whatever. So I want to see if they're gonna have time for that, or if they're just gonna have like ups and downs with like the fights left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
But that would be so cool though, to find like a relative from like, oh, like her sister's children or something.
I mean,
so cool.
children of children of children.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what, like, at least 3 generations, right? 200, 3-ish.
Yeah, about
Depending
3.
how long
I would
people
say.
lived.
I mean, if you average like maybe 60 to 75, like 75 years per generation, probably about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You know, something I found fascinating, but they've not really explored it, is like when you're in Aurora's memories of Earth, like clearly Earth is not doing well, because she described, what was it, like Central Park, but it was all like all messed up and the trees were like dead or something. Like the way they described it, like clearly it's kind of a little bit post-apocalyptic in the sense that it's like the environment's dead. But it's because I'm curious what year she was in. I don't think they ever mentioned it, or I might have missed it. But I'm curious how many years after us, let's call it.
I think this one is in like 2380. So I think Aurora's time on Earth would have been like 2180. So about 150 years later than we live now.
Okay.
I think.
See, I really
like,
want to learn
quote
more
me
about
on that,
that.
but I think.
Okay, that'd be really cool to learn. I think, like, how long after us she lived, so what the Earth was like back then, because obviously now they're like interstellar travelers. So it's different, but yeah, I found that quite interesting.
Yeah.
But also, like, I find it, maybe I missed an info. Did they know about aliens? Like in
I don't think so.
So like, I feel like in 200 years, to actually accept aliens and all the species and have mixed, like, I mean, half aliens, half like on the Earth or whatever, I feel like it's a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
200 years, no? I feel like it's very short to actually accept and change your entire life as well.
Yeah, I do think, because they did mention that they basically had war with everyone, and then they were like, oh, we can't be warring anymore. Yeah, that's interesting. Because if we think about it as 3 generations, it doesn't even feel that much.
No, it's not that much. That's why I'm like, I don't know.
I do find it a bit weird though that, like, at least some of the alien species are apparently so much so humanoid that we are biologically compatible with them.
For me, what was crazy was like, oh, there definitely is a maker, because all of us are bipedal. Because I was thinking, why is everyone humanoid? Why is all these aliens humanoid? And then they kind of explained it. I wonder what's going to happen to that. I don't know if that's going to be like, or it's just what it is, or if we're going to actually find aliens that aren't humanoid, bipedal, whatever.
Yeah, I think they did find alien species that aren't necessarily humanoid, but I just find it weird that even if they are humanoid, apparently that we're biologically compatible enough that we can interbreed.
Yeah, that's.
They talked about any mixed kids. I must have like blanked at that part.
Oh, I thought I heard one of you talk about it just now.
Yeah, I said that's because I assumed some of them are. It wasn't said, so it's just in my head.
Okay, yeah, well, food for thought anyway, like.
Yeah.
Because except for the fact that, you know, like, Cal's species is very tall and very strong, and Finian's species has huge families and everything, they are basically humans.
Yeah. I think that is very interesting because, like I said, they said, "Oh, we now believe in the one maker because we were so freaked out how everyone looked kind of the same, despite the fact that they obviously were developed in such different parts of the universe." So maybe there's gonna be some conspiracy about that or something, or maybe it just is what it is. But yeah,
I just wrote like that Tyler was half and half.
is he?
So maybe I just made that up.
So.
I don't know.
Because if he was, then so would be Scarlet, right?
Yeah, they're twins.
His dad. Oh yeah, of course. Because his dad was like a human commander. Yeah. I don't know if they said what his mom does. I'm not sure. I never clocked that they were half. No, I think like they would have mentioned more than once.
Why did I write that then?
I think they're just like Terran, or whatever you want to call it, whatever they call it in these books.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not actually remember them saying anything about mixed babies. But if Cal got together with Aurora, assuming they would have children, then they're kind of like mixing species. So. Yes. I think they're still pretty freaked out by the notion of mixing species because, well, maybe it's a bad idea, bad example, but Cal's people were like disgusted that he called her beloved or whatever that word was. They were like, "We call you a human," but then also they were bigoted anyway, so maybe they're not the best example. But I'm curious.
Yeah, I remember like there being like one of those like little excerpt thingies, like in between chapters, like discussing like how Cal's race like doesn't think like anything highly of people who are not like older, but like the thing about it is it takes like their entire lifespan's like almost over 200 years, so like it's almost like they don't like anybody that doesn't have like a long lifespan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember reading that. Yeah. Because like then even if Finn gets together with Scarlet, that's also gonna be interspecies. So this group is like breaking some big steps over here.
I mean, what are you expecting? You know, I mean, like you're putting all these like 18 years old together.
Bunch of teenagers.
Yeah.
You know what I kind of appreciate? I mean, it's still like a little bit silly, but at least they make an effort to explain why all of them are teenagers and being set on all these missions. Because they're like, oh, if you get like above age 25, you're gonna go crazy in the fold. So I was like, okay, it's still a bit goofy because they're all kids, but you made an effort to actually explain it, so fair enough. Yeah, like why are you sending all these 17-year-olds on diplomatic missions?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a trope in YA sci-fi, you know, to send kids on missions. Like with like Ender's Game or whatever.
Aren't they like 11 or something? Like very young.
Yeah, they're very, very young. So I feel like it's.
I mean, it's definitely a trope. It's just I feel like normally they pretend like it's not weird, and here they were like, well, there's kind of an explanation. So yeah, this is the one. So Canon also ask, or like, what are you not vibing with that you think is coming up in book 2?
I mean, if they find a cure and save everyone, that would be weird. Like I don't want, like I don't think it's if it happens, it's not gonna happen in book 2. It might happen in book 3. Yeah. But I don't think so.
I really hope not.
I feel like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen in like the last 50 pages of the 3rd book because we magically need a solution.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I really hope they don't play up this love triangle too much, if there is one, which there might not be. Although now Taylor's free because Tyler is free because Kat's dead. Well, not dead, but I hope he's not moping about her for like the whole book because that'll turn me off his character because I hate mopey characters. I understand why he would be sad.
Yeah, but he made his decision not to be with her, so he's got to live with it. Be a man.
Be a man.
Let it go, man. Be hard. I'm like always like, oh, if in real life he just forgot about it, then he'd be a shitty person. But as a character, I just don't want to read about him being sad for all of the book. So.
But I mean, it just depends on how he's gonna deal with it. You know, like if Aurora talks about her dead mother and sister a few times in the book, it would make sense. So even if he talks about it, it would make sense. It just depends. I don't want it to be the focus of his point of view. Like
I agree.
It's fine.
I mean, if they don't mention it at all, that would be super weird. So I agree. Like they have to talk about it a little bit, but like you said, if it's every chapter, he's like, "Well, I'm sad now," and life's like. And I hope he doesn't turn into an asshole, because sometimes books do that. You know, like someone's like grieving or something, so then they're just like, "Let's destruct everything," and blah blah blah. But I feel like that's against Tyler's character. So yeah, I hope he stays who he actually is.
I think he will. I think that's why the crew is there, you know, Squad 312, whatever. That they're here to just like be for each other. They're becoming their own family, you know. So I feel like.
Oh, Alyssa just said like something I was just thinking about. Because she's so right. We know nothing about Sela.
I know.
Nothing.
She's kind of fun though. Like she's like that dark, like psychotic person that you have lurking in the background and you don't really know much about.
True. Yeah. I hope we learn more about her. What she's all about.
I feel like she has reasons to be who she is, and that's why we haven't read much about her.
I mean, like I remember like there was like one chapter where she subliminally like kind of like very discreetly mentioned like, you know, how her childhood was kind of rough. So,
but how rough, you know? I feel like we're gonna get some details regarding that, and we're gonna get attached to that crap.
Ooh, I feel like we might visit like her home planet or whatever. Well, she's from Earth, but whatever that means in this world, like, or meet her family or something. That's how we learn. What if she's like, well, nah, I think that's what Finn is there for. But I was like, what if she's from this like super happy family and then she's just like the one weirdo that's emo? I feel like that would be. But you just said she had a rough childhood, so it's not going to be that. But I always love that trope. It's like the nicest parents and the nicest siblings, and just this one emo kid, and you're like, what happened? I feel like it's a safety thing for her to look clinically at everything, not to feel emotions. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, probably. But that makes me curious to see actually what happened. Like, did someone betray her? Like, was he horrible, harsh childhood? You know what I mean? Like, what happened?
Great. Yeah. I feel like Aurora and Hal figuring out there. Actually, it was really cute when they had this whole scene when she was like, "How about you let me decide whether I want you to disappear forever, never talk to me again?" Like, and he was just like, it didn't even cross his mind that she might like him back, and that kind of, I was like, okay, that is really cute.
I mean, that's why I love him. Like, I love him.
That he did grow on me a lot towards the end. I really liked their dynamic then.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
I just want to say, like, that's what I really didn't mind, that romance bits of it, because it was just cute. Like, it was cute, like cute tiny moments. But yeah, go ahead, Kira.
I feel like J. Kristoff like has been setting us up though for that, because the second book had him on it. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
See, because I thought that Tyler's gonna be the main love interest, because he finds out whatever. And then I was reading the book and I realized, wait, but that's not him on book 2. So like, I feel like that would be weird. But then Finn is on book 3, so maybe just all the cool aliens got to be on the covers because they're cool aliens, and then the humans were like, "You're boring." So
I know Aurora's not boring.
No,
yeah,
Aurora.
Like, I don't know, but the third cover really creeped me out because there's Finn looking slightly like a maniac with a green like the toxic green background and everything. So
Ooh.
I feel like there might be hints there.
That reminds me of the JIA, actually. No?
Yeah, and also the fact that it's called Aurora's End has me kind of like.
Well, I mean, honestly, like for character arcs and stuff, like I feel like there's only like 2 ways that like it can really go for her, because that fold really messed her up. Like she's got like, you know, powers and stuff like now, and you know, like she's hallucinating and everything. She's not fully present in now. So either it's something's going to happen and she's not going to survive it, or like after everything gets resolved, things just kind like she just kind of everything just kind of dissipates and she goes back to normal. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did think that it was interesting that she was called Aurora, but that station was also called Aurora. So I thought Aurora's End might also refer to maybe the academy or something. But no, you're right. Yeah, she's like so powerful. And she's like a part of this super weird, extinct, super alien thing. So how do you live your life normally when you can see the future and shit? But then, once you fulfill your mission, I feel like it'd be weird if it just disappeared, because like that changed her biology and stuff in a sense. I did think it was interesting that her eye wasn't white from beginning. It was just like normal at first, and then she has her first vision and go white. But I was like, why didn't it get white before?
Because she wasn't conscious, I feel like, because she was basically,
I guess she couldn't have visions,
like suspended in death-like sleep.
Yeah.
So I think you know that what inhabited her may have preserved her body, and then when it was woken up, it like activated, I guess.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious. Do you think the weapon's going to be like something physical or because Aurora's the trigger, right? So do you think it's like she's also kind of the weapon? She'll go nuclear or something? But like destroying everything wouldn't really solve the problem. So yeah, I don't know. Or is
Hal
it
is the weapon, because he's on the cover of the second one. First one was about finding the trigger. She's the trigger. Second one's about finding the weapon. He's the weapon.
That'd be cool if that was the case.
Yeah.
Just.
Ooh, this is a very interesting question. Oh. If I can click it. Okay, there you go. If you've all read works by the authors individually, what do you guys think about the writing style versed in this one? Is it distinct from their individual works? What did Amie Kaufman write? What's like her famous?
I don't remember the names.
Yeah, but she wrote with someone else, no? Like a love story?
Yeah, I think she's like more romance, like space romance type stuff.
Oh yes, the one where it's like 2 people floating in space and almost touching each other. I mean, this is very different than Nevernight, but that's all I've ever read by you.
Yeah, I feel like J. Kristoff's writing style just differs from book to book and audience to audience, and because I feel like his YA books, I also read Lifelike, and like those differ like in tone and voice very much from like Nevernight.
That's the one Amie Kaufman wrote.
So I feel like at least for J. Kristoff, like at least you know, even his individual works differ vastly like from each other.
Yeah, I agree. Like I've read Lifelike by him, the Nevernight series, but this book reminds me of Illuminate. I know it's not like the, do you say Illuminate? Like Illuminate. Like it's multi-format or whatever, so it's not like Aurora Rising. Which one is? Yeah, Aurora Rising. But it feels very similar to Illuminate.
I think the writing style does.
Yeah, but
and the sense of humor as well.
But how do they write it? Because the two writing it.
Yeah.
So do they each write certain point of views or whatever? I don't know how they do it to make it work.
Right.
But for me, it's very similar to Illuminate.
The banter is probably written by J. Kristoff. I would not be surprised. I think it's a very interesting question, Sasha, because you're right. Because even if they do write each perspective, then I feel like they did a really good job making it a cohesive thing. Like it doesn't feel like two writers did their thing and put it together. It feels like a cohesive idea. So I don't know. Maybe they like brainstorm. Maybe they each write a bit and then edit together. I have no clue. But it's very interesting because. Yeah, I did hear someone say like, "Oh, this is just like Illuminate, but just rehashed." But I think writing is similar. Stains of Humor is very similar, but the story is completely different. So I did only read the first book in Illuminate, so I did think it was awesome. I really liked it. So yeah, but I think the plots are very different. So.
Yeah.
They basically just do everything back and forth. Just on an interview. So they just, outline everything. They go through everything together. And whenever they write, they keep everyone updated. So it's not
so
like,
much work.
Yeah. So it's not like, one person kills off a character, the other one has grand plans for.
No, I guess not. But I was like, how do they do it? Like, how do they decide who's going to write anything or like that part or whatever? But yeah, I mean, it works. And there's probably like a good editing team behind as well, like to make it cohesive and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's honestly like literally like a collaborative effort. So one of them will write something and the other one will go through it and just, check if everything's okay and add things maybe or take things out and then, editing everything later just by themselves and then editors. And so I'm not sure whether it's really a one person writes this and the other writes that kind of process. But obviously I wasn't there, so I don't know.
No, but it would make sense. It would make sense. Yeah, but I have never read anything by Amie Kaufman, like just her or her other works, because she wrote with other authors as well.
Yeah, she also read Unearth with Megan Spooner.
I read that. I read the first one in that series.
She wrote
Luigi on there. Yeah.
It was a duology. I didn't get a chance I didn't get around to reading the second one, but it was kind of like pitched as like an Indiana Jones kind of book, like on another planet, sort of. And I mean, I can definitely see that. I mean, it was interesting, but I don't think I really got interested until the very end, and then I had to wait forever for the second one to come out. So.
Yeah. No, I have not read anything by them, so I don't really know what's their style. But did you find it was similar in writing or whatever?
I feel like if anything, if just the feeling I got, maybe Amie Kaufman did more of the plot line and J. Kristoff did more of the characters. That's almost like how I feel about it after reading that book.
Okay. I mean, absolutely fair.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll ask them someday exactly how it's going.
Imagine if one of them came to Yelk.
We could ask them. I don't know.
At least part of the lineup should be announced tomorrow, I think. So.
I'm so stressed. I mean, it's stupid. I should not be stressed for that, but I just want to know.
I'm so excited.
I feel like I'm so out of the loop with everything, so I have no idea who to even expect.
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's been so long since I've been to a event, a book event. I'm just so excited. I'm I know I'll buy a bunch of books just to get them signed.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We have to bring books.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll sell them at the event as well.
Yeah.
And if you already have them, you don't want to buy them again.
Imagine if it was J. Kristoff and I still had all my Empire of the Vampire editions and me just lugging all of them to London.
They'll be like, what you got there, lady? And you're like, oh, it's just the same book 10 times.
9, actually. It wasn't 10, 9.
You actually had 9. Oh my god, I thought I was exaggerating.
No, I had 9 copies. I only have 1 left though.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have 3 copies of that.
If he's, I'm not going to ask him to sign it. I'm just going to ask him to line it and doodle in it, because it's already signed, like the one I have. And I know he does that. He like lines them or just draws a doodle like a random cat or something.
Oh.
So
yeah, I think I got Dark Dawn signed by him because I went to a signing for that. That was fun because that was in like this church. It was just such a like Kristoff thing to do. It was just old Gothic church. It was really fun. But that was ages ago, before pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Ooh. We should see who's coming there, and then we should choose like a book themed thing for the read along, and then we can get signed. That'd be really fun.
I don't know, maybe if you guys like go in 2023, maybe I can plan something to be
That'd
there.
be fun. Oh my god, that'd be so much fun.
Because I really like, I'm so bummed because I'm just like, I'm the only one not going, and it's like I want to hang out.
I know.
That'd be so much fun.
This
We need
is
to have a cat out of you.
I feel like this is the worst part about like booktube, because you get like friends all over the world, and it's just like everyone's so far away. Well, not everyone, but like so many people are so far away, and it's like I would love to actually meet you, but I just don't know when.
Yeah. No, it was the same with BookCon before. Like all the North American and the ones who could travel could meet there, and the others were like, no, because like for us it's different. It's closer, less expensive than it is for you, Kira, to actually come here.
I know.
So we totally get it, but it would be nice.
Yeah, next time. Or we come
Maybe
to
I'll try for 2023.
Yeah.
I don't think BookCon is a thing anymore. I think
Is
it
it
was
not?
actually discontinued.
Oh, okay.
Maybe someone else would come up with something new,
Yeah,
because that was a huge event. So now they need to find some kind of replacement for.
Yeah, I was honestly so surprised that it was discontinued. Like, I mean, I get not hosting it with COVID, but then they just completely canceled it, and I was like, "What? Why?" Like,
you don't know if it was their only event or not. You know what I mean? So maybe
true.
Like being like, yeah, do we take a risk to be able to do it in 2 years or 3 years? We don't know how long it's going to take. Many companies just bankrupt. So
I know, but it felt so sudden, because at first they were like postponing, and then suddenly it was just like, no, we're done. We're not going to continue. Goodbye. It felt just so sudden.
Yeah, I know, like the Belgian book convention, whatever, happened in 2020 because it was just like before the lockdown. But then it hasn't happened since. Even now, it was supposed to happen, but it couldn't. So it's still like a lot of money they're losing. So they're trying to do things online to make sales and some events, some interviews or whatever, but it's not the same, and they're suffering from it. Now they don't have the money to actually rent the place to host the event. So it's like it's hard. So.
What are the COVID restrictions like where you live now? Because like here in the Netherlands, there are like no restrictions anymore. Like,
it's just like there are no restriction of yes and no. Like you still have to wear the mask in public transport, and when you go like to hospitals, doctors or whatever. And there is within Brussels, so the capital, you have different like cities, let's say, and there is one that's doing really bad, that whenever you leave your house you have to wear your mask. So it really depends, but there is no like restriction or whatever. But if you're inside for an event of more than 150 200 people, better wear your mask or whatever. So it really depends on the types of events or whatever. So But yeah, it's
But
like go grocery shopping. I'm pretty much the only one wearing a mask.
yeah.
But it really, yeah. But there is no rule at the moment per se.
No, for us, masking isn't mandatory anymore. Like anywhere,
It's public transport and hospitals and doctors. Yes,
Yeah.
and you cannot, like, if you go there, you have to go by yourself. You cannot go with someone else to help you whatever, unless you're an elderly person and you need help, walking. But otherwise, you can only enter if you have an appointment that you can prove it, and that's it. So, yeah.
Yeah, here they just lifted all restrictions.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's like the only person even on the underground who are like, well, okay, not the only, but a very small percentage of people wear masks.
No, here it depends. Well, yeah. I don't know if you had anything else to say regarding Aurora Rising, honestly.
No, I don't think so.
Such an easy book to actually enjoy and go through that there is no polarizing things like happening or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like all of us enjoyed a very similar level.
Yeah.
It's nice after the fiasco last two picks.
I mean, fiasco. We just didn't finish it. We still managed to read 2 books. Like
yeah.
True.
Well, some of you
the
did.
third one was too big.
I'm still trying to make my way through the second one.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe after summer when I have some time, I'll read the third one. Wait, so when's our next reading sprints? Is it the 15th, I want to say?
I want to say the 15th, yeah.
Yeah, the 15th and the live show on the 29th.
Yeah, very excited.
I'm going to write that down.
This, yes.
Yeah. So again, I'm not sure whether I'll be there on the 15th. I might just use them. If I'm there, I might use them for like thesis writing sprints.
Yeah. I have my cousins visiting, so I might not be able to come either, but we'll update you.
Yes.
As well.
No worries. We'll host sprints, whatever they are.
Exactly.
Yes, there'll be some sprints. Some people will be there. And yeah, 29th, I don't have any plans, so we're good. But yeah, I'm very excited. Looking forward to it.
See, I expect another 4 stars.
Yeah. To be fair, on Goodreads, I think I gave it 4 stars. So
yeah,
same. I have 4, 3.5.
We all agree.
Right. Yeah. That's really good. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for coming.
Just one more fun fact: the second one is rated highest on Goodreads.
Oh, okay.
They're very close. The first one is 4.18, the second one 4.30, and the third one 4.25. But the second one is rated highest.
Okay.
That's still super high for books that have been rated how many times? Like this series? Because
Aurora Rising has over 52,000 ratings.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
The second one has nearly 26,000 ratings. And the third one has just over 10,000 ratings.
You can see that not that many people are finishing series.
Yeah, we're not alone.
Yep.
Yeah, to be fair, it does kind of make sense that book 2 would have and 3 would have high ratings because people that enjoyed book 1 will continue.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but still, for a book to have 4.18 on Goodreads, you still need predominantly
really
positive reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's so a lot.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Hope you have a lovely Sunday afternoon/evening. And see you for sprints.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Let me find it. Yes.